The argument is very much that, you know, we have a response to the drug problem. It's called methadone.
Addicts like these at Focus 12 have been prescribed the legal drug methadone for years to take every day as a heroin substitute. About 10 years ago, it became the government's main method of treating addicts. What the government hoped was if they gave addicts methadone, they'd stop committing crime to get money for drugs. And they'd also stop sharing needles and getting HIV. Which is a nice idea. Also, it's probably cheaper.
I was on methadone for 15 years.
Bloody hell, mate, that's a long time, isn't it?
It's meant to reduce crime and it's meant to reduce your addiction, but come on, I'm an addict, so I abuse that just as much as you abuse drugs. It's harmful, if not more harmful, in my opinion. Methadone is worse.
It's harder to come off.
It's harder to come off, it's more addictive, it gets into you, it rots you away.
Yeah.
It costs whatever, like patents they say, but it costs more money and it's not dealing with the problem. You've got a place like this what deals with it and deals with us. Methadone, you go to a chemist and go, yeah, I'll see you later, and you walk out. What help's that for an addict?
Over the last 10 years, the argument has been put forward by the National Treatment Agency that we are being successful. We are keeping people off the streets. We are maintaining them stably on methadone. What are you going to do with it? Every single addict that comes along, just park them on methadone. And it doesn't understand addiction either. If you're an addict or an alcoholic, you want to get completely stoned. You want to get completely wrecked. You don't want to be stable. Nobody starts on a piss-up to get stable.
I am gonna get this so fucking stable tonight. I'm gonna sit there and off flat.
They want to get wrecked. Yeah. So to give them enough drugs, you either give them enough drugs to get wrecked, which is just ridiculous, or you don't give them enough and they use on top. So, you know, and why are you colluding with something that is such an incredibly poor life decision? On methadone, you've got no chance of an outcome other than somebody still on methadone.
Let's speak to someone who really believes in methadone-based treatment, a proper doctor who prescribes it. This is the technique that treats 90% of Britain's junkies. Claire Garada is a GP and the chair of the Royal Council of General Practitioners. She's considered an expert in drug treatment. She describes methadone as the gold standard.
I do see a lot of patients with drug users.
Do you?
A lot of patients, and have done over the years. And I know you talk about abstinence. That's absolutely fine, but I think actually keeping some patients, the vast majority of mine who are on methadone, do very, very well.
Methadone's a drug. If you're on methadone, you're on drugs. You know, so like, you know, so for me, it's like just rearranging the furniture on the Titanic.
But can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you say the same thing about someone on insulin for diabetes, or someone on an antihypertensive treatment for high blood pressure? Why is it that we pick out a medicine that's used to treat a disease? But I also look after folk who have been damaged from the day they left their mother's womb, damaged psychologically, damaged physically, damaged emotionally, who end up making no friends, who drift into crime at a young age and then drift into drugs. Now, for those patients, actually they do need to be on something long enough, secure enough to sort all the rest of the bits out. They don't have the psychological awareness, they don't have the support in order to do what you've done, which is make an abstinence-based
I completely disagree with you, Doctor. What I really want to be clear about is this is not an attack on you as if... No, not at the moment, let me carry on talking. Okay. But there's an institutionalised mentality around the treatment of addiction that is not helpful to addicts because you're not addressing the underlying problem. I'm not saying you as an individual, you're doing a really good job. I'm just saying that there needs to be an honest debate, an honest exchange of information, and that the objective has to be, I think, from the origin of the treatment to get people dependence free. So yes, methadone is going to be a part of that, but like, you know, you're saying, oh, they don't have the layers of support. Why don't they have the layers of support? Why is there not funding for the layers of support?
I would love everybody to live drug-free lives on nothing, but I've been a GP long enough to know that that's not possible. A large number of patients still need opiate substitution treatment whilst they sort out all the bits that were missing as they were growing up, and that takes time. It's like putting a plaster around a broken leg. You put that plaster around it so that it can heal underneath.
It's like putting a plaster around a broken soul, is what it's like doing. I'm not disputing what you're saying, I'm just saying that we have to be more ambitious, more compassionate, that it's not that we need to address this problem more quickly, and I completely disagree with you. I've seen extraordinary turns around, people turn their lives around in extraordinary ways, and I believe in people. I believe in the possibility of change. As long as people are taking methadone, they're not going to address those problems. They're not going to be able to address their problems of origin.
I think that is so...
What, the people on methadone cannot address their problems?
I think
it's patronising for you as an addict, because you're not a drug addict, are you? It doesn't make no difference to me. The money, the fame, the power, the sex, the women, none of it. I'd rather be a drug addict. If I didn't have my programme, I'd be a drug addict today, like that, in a second. I'd walk out, I know how to score around here. Like, I'd do it gladly. And the reason I don't do it is because of the things I'm talking to you about. And I know that with methadone, I'd be using on top, like most of the drug addicts I know are. I'm not being patronising. I'm listening to you on the stuff you know about, but not on the stuff you don't.
Which I continue to follow up my patients, I continue to see them. And to say that methadone destroys their soul, or whatever the comment you made, I think...
It does give them access to the solution that they require.
But it doesn't deter them from the solution that they require.
I think it does.
OK, then we have to agree to disagree.
Before I spoke to that GP, I met a junkie in the toilet, drinking booze. Then I saw her again as I came out. This woman is on methadone. Is it working for her? I see you drinking some Kestrel there.
Yeah, drink every day.
Do you take any other drugs?
I'm not gonna lie, I smoke a bit of crack now and again, but I was a heroin user, like,
You on a
most of my
script?
life. Yeah, I just went on a script last month.
What's it like?
They put me on 80ml, but in the last month I've come down to 40. It's easy to come after them, but it's very hard to stay off them.
Really hard to stay stop. I think you shouldn't have anything at all. Like, not methadone, not Subutex,
no
not nothing.
methadone, no nothing.
None of this.
No, none of this.
I wonder if you'd be...
But you know what, the only thing is, like, see if people actually gave you the help after you stopped taking the methadone and stopped doing everything, rather than just stop prescribing your methadone and that's it, basically, don't come and see me anymore. I can't sit in the same company I sit in every day, like, without being drunk or, like, and I don't get high so much now, not gonna lie, like, maybe if I get a little bit of money I'll buy crack, but that's it. No, but they don't give you...
For me, this argument is at the heart of improving treatment for addicts. Substituting illegal street drugs with government-backed legal drugs, like methadone, is not moving addicts on.
In 12 years, I've been to 33 funerals of either my friends or people who've worked for me.
Former junkie Mark Johnson campaigns to persuade people that methadone doesn't work. He uses shocking photographs of addicts who are all using on top of their methadone prescription to make this point.
Is this an illness? And I think after seeing an image, you know, show the absolute naked truth of what people do to change how they feel, the extremities that they go, I don't think can leave you with the same preconceptions.
It's pretty brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Intravenous drug use in the neck there.
Yeah. That's a 22-year-old, 7 months pregnant.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Had a history injecting in her groin.
Why is this? Because she's like, she can't use her veins in her arms and legs.
All her veins are gone, yeah, at 22. Yeah, she's used since she was 13, so... That's somebody's legs who's been using for about 30 years.
Mark wants me to meet two of the women he's been photographing. What are their names, mate?
Suzanne and Karen.
Both women struggle with lives dominated by crack and heroin use, as well as the methadone that they've been prescribed for years.
When I went to get help, I didn't want to go into a methadone program. To me, it's like they're not using it for what it's used for. It's used to help you get off of heroin. You understand me? Not to stabilise you for in 20 years' time you're still taking methadone because you're not ready to come off of it. You will never be ready to come off of it.
I believe in abstinence-based recovery myself because it's what's worked for me.
I've never tried any type of recovery, so
What's stopping you from going to rehab right now, then?
Me, basically. Yeah, that's the only thing that's stopping me, is me.
I'd love to come off of methadone and heroin. I hate being on methadone and heroin. I like to smoke crack, I'm not going to lie. That's going to be hard for me to stop.
Well, then why don't you stop then?
I'm trying to stop, but it's just taken so long with the funding and the system.
I don't think you can have any drugs, either of you, because I think that you've both got addictive tendencies, and if you take any drugs at all, you won't be able to control it. I believe that people like me with the disease of addiction have to, one day at a time, abstain from all substances, including methadone or prescription drugs. Otherwise, we don't have the opportunity to address the internal incentives that are propelling us towards drug and alcohol use. Professor Neil McKegney is a world authority, recently given an award by the World Forum Against Drugs for his research on a better drugs policy for the 21st century.
We asked addicts, what do you want to get out of treatment? And predominantly they said, we want to become drug-free. When I started to tell people that was their answer, that was regarded as an incredibly unwelcome piece of research.
Was it?
Nobody in the world of treatment wanted to hear that predominantly addicts in treatment wanted to come off the drugs.
Why?
Because I think that set a challenge to them. Are you helping them to become drug-free? Or are you just making another drug available to them? When we follow people up, when we ask the question, well, if the majority want to become drug-free, how many actually do become drug-free on the basis of the treatment which they were given?
How many do?
It was tiny. After nearly 3 years of treatment, it was less than, it wasn't even in double figures.
Oh, no.
So over 90% were still dependent on the drugs that they had been dependent on when they'd come forward for treatment. Only now we'd added methadone into the mix as well, so they were dependent on an additional drug. In fact, the number of people who came off drugs after 3 years treatment was lower than would have been the case had they had no treatment at all.
Oh, it's pointless. It's literally pointless. That's almost the definition of pointlessness.
It is
they might as well
absolutely.
have took the money and the methadone and thrown it out of a window. It would have had the same impact.
Somebody has got to challenge that orthodoxy that actually says it's okay to deliver treatments which we know are not working. Because at the end of the day, who really cares that much anyway? Because they're just drug addicts. I spoke to one of the UK's leading proponents of the methadone programme, and he said to me, you know, Neil, if my daughter was a heroin addict, I would do everything and some to get her into a residential rehab. I would not prescribe her with methadone. And I felt,
that's disgraceful.
All you're saying then is that the person that you would care about, you know what you would get. The people who you care less for, they get something different.
One of the strongest arguments for rehab is that it takes the addicts out of the community where their lives are falling apart and gives them a breathing space to reassess and hopefully move on. Another place you think would be ideal to achieve that is Britain's prisons, because there are thousands of addicts locked up inside. Over 80% of the British prison population are addicts or have substance abuse issues, but only 1 in 10 get any treatment other than methadone to break their habit. The Mount Prison in Hemel Hempstead, North London is one place where prisoners get more than methadone. They run an abstinence programme inside.
If we don't do anything with them while they're here, we're just going to lock the problem up, if you like, and then release the problem, and we're just going to create more victims. It's going to be constant reoffending, and they're just going to keep coming back to prison. So that's 70-odd% are going out and they're not reoffending in the first 2 years. They're getting into recovery.
That means you're changing people's lives and making
a massive difference.
Here at a charity called CRI, the Crime Reduction Initiative.
If what we're trying to do is help people stop using drink, drugs, you need to treat them decently, you need to treat them with respect, you need to treat them as people, you need to help people become part of the community, to become because they've come from our community. The reasons people get into drink and drug use are complicated, and it's too easy to say these people are criminals, they're dirty, they're part of the community that we live in. And our approach is, if you're part of our community, we'll work with you to help, to help you become fuller parts of the community.
That's a brilliant way of thinking.
I'm a hazard to my community, really, when I'm out there.
As soon as I see you, I thought, hello, here's a hazard to his community, this bloke. How long was you a drug addict for?
About 35 years.
Oh, well, you're committed then.
Yeah.
During that 35-year period, how were you funding your drug use?
I was a street bum for many years and flitted through phases of selling drugs as well, which I thought I was a bit of a gangster.
Yeah.
However, I'm not. And so I just done damage, really. I funded other people's habits, other people funded mine. I'm really good at taking, and today I don't.
I robbed my family.
Robbed your family, that's not good.
My family. Or anyone of us didn't get it, I'd rob it.
I done what I need to do. Drug dealing, violence, stealing from shops, from cheese to clothes.
How do you help each other?
I'm, you know, a whole bundle of feelings that some days I don't know what to do with. So I give Steve a ring, say, look, because he understands. I've been through treatment with the guy.
You go to Steve to talk about your feelings?
I do, indeed, yeah.
Steve! That's amazing. I've had a feeling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was your feeling? Amazing.
And it works, you know,
it works.
This stuff works.
You're abstaining from drugs and alcohol. You've stopped committing crimes.
Yeah.
Is drug use a health problem or is it a crime problem? Actually, it spans both, which is all the stuff we've been talking about today. And the treatment works to improve people's health, and that gets you health gains. And it also there is a crime reduction dividend to treatment.
Graham Bartlett told me that in the last 6 years in Brighton, 500 addicts who previously would have gone to prison have instead gone into treatment.
Between them, they've been convicted of about 21,000 crimes between them, which
cost... 500? Fucking hell, they're recidivists.
And they absolutely are. They've got about an average of 40 crimes each. And if you apply a cost to that, it's about 27.5 million quid. Just those people. For
that 500, 27 million quid?
Yeah, just those people, just for what they've been convicted of.
So you made a massive economic saving taking them out of the game?
For every £1 spent on treatment, Brighton saves £3 on reoffending. For the UK, with crimes by drug offenders costing $14 billion a year, the savings from this approach could be enormous. We can do things differently in policing and prisons that save money and lives. Brilliant. This is the message I want to take into Parliament, where I've been asked to give evidence before the Home Affairs Select Committee, which has been investigating how effective drug treatment is in the UK. They've taken evidence from all kinds of experts, and now they want to hear what Chip and me think from inside the problem. Ex-addicts in recovery.
Hello. You're a former heroin addict.
Yeah.
Briefly, could you tell us how you got onto drugs and then how you managed to come off it?
I was like sad, lonely, unhappy, detached, and drugs and alcohol for me seemed like a solution to that problem. If you have the disease or the illness of addiction or alcoholism, the best way to tackle it is to not use drugs in any form, whether it's state-sponsored opiates like methadone or illegal street drugs or illegal substance like alcohol. We see no distinction between these substances. What we believe in is that abstinence-based recovery is the best solution for people suffering from this condition.